You know that feeling. You're shuffling through the security line, your flight is already boarding, and you see the TSA agent pull your bag aside for a closer look. Your heart sinks. But what if I told you that's not the moment you should actually be worried about? The real game over moment for your trip doesn't happen there. It happens thousands of miles from home, in a sterile airport hallway, standing in front of a foreign customs agent who does not look happy. Suddenly, the questions racing through your mind are a lot more serious. Is that common cold medicine you packed considered an illegal substance here? Could the prescription medication that's perfectly legal back home get you detained or even deported? What's your emergency plan if the airline loses the bag with your refrigerated insulin? Let's make sure that nightmare scenario never happens to you. In this video, we are going to eliminate that uncertainty and give you a bulletproof plan to protect your health and your trip. Because the rules for traveling with medicine in 2025 go way beyond the TSA, and not knowing them can ruin your entire vacation. I'm breaking down the exact step-by-step strategy you need, from TSA liquid rules to the international customs laws that can get you into serious trouble. We'll even cover how to manage your doses across time zones and exactly what to do if your meds get lost or stolen. So stick with me, because we're about to tackle the single biggest mistake travelers make, and the one piece of paper that can save you from a travel catastrophe. Alright, let's dive in. Before we get into labels, liquids, or what the TSA is looking for, there's one rule that is more important than all the others. Think of it as the golden rule of traveling with medicine, and it's this. Picture this. You finally land at Narita Airport in Tokyo, totally jet-lagged but ready to start your dream vacation. You head to baggage claim, wait, and wait, only to find out your checked bag decided to take a little side trip to Bangkok. And inside that bag, your heart medication. The same medication keeping you alive is now sitting 1,500 miles away while you're standing in Japan with only a 3-day supply in your pocket. And it gets worse. You've seen how aggressively airlines gate-check carry-ons these days. The overhead bins are full, so your carefully packed carry-on gets a tag slapped on it and disappears into the cargo hold. You think you're safe because you brought it on the plane, but once it's gate-checked, it can get lost just like any other suitcase. The numbers tell the real story. Airlines mishandle about 7 out of every 1,000 bags. That might sound low, but you really don't want to be one of those 7 when you're facing a medical emergency in a foreign country. Trying to get replacement prescriptions abroad can cost thousands of dollars, and means you have to figure out a completely different medical system, new insurance rules, and local prescription laws. This is why your personal item, the bag that slides under the seat in front of you, is now your medication safe. This bag never leaves your sight. No gate agent can force you to check it, and no baggage system can misplace it. Following this one single rule will prevent 90% of medication disasters before they even have a chance to happen. So you walk up to TSA security at JFK with your neatly organized weekly pill organizer. You're feeling pretty proud of how prepared you are. The TSA agent barely even glances at it. Great, right? Wrong. Fast forward a few hours. You've just landed at Frankfurt Airport, and suddenly you're surrounded by 3 German customs agents, all demanding to know what those loose white pills are. Your confident explanation about being organized falls completely flat when they have no way to verify what you're carrying. Here's the trap that TSA doesn't warn you about. Their relaxed approach for domestic flights can give you a false sense of security for international travel. TSA agents are trained to look for security threats, bombs, weapons, not to identify drugs. They generally assume your pills are legit because you're flying within the same country's regulated system. Foreign customs agents? They have completely different training. To them, those neat little compartments that impressed you now look like potential drug trafficking. All they see are unidentifiable loose pills with no proof of what they are. Every customs agent in the world is trained to treat unmarked medications as suspicious contraband until you can prove otherwise. Those original pharmacy labels are your only form of legal proof once you leave the United States. The labels have the prescription number, your doctor's name, the pharmacy that filled it, and the exact medication name. All things a customs agent can actually verify. Without them, your word means absolutely nothing in a foreign legal system. So, think twice before you transfer your pills into an organizer for an international trip. What works perfectly for a flight to Florida becomes a huge liability the moment you land in France. You're standing at the security checkpoint holding $200 worth of prescription eye drops that are in a bottle larger than 3.4 ounces. The agent points to the trash bin. You assume you have no choice and get ready to toss them. Stop. You are about to throw away medication you have every legal right to carry on. Here's the secret most travelers never learn. TSA's medical liquid exemption completely bypasses the 311 rule. That means no size limits and no quantity restrictions for liquid meds. This exemption covers liquid prescriptions, insulin, contact lens solution, and even the cooling gel packs you need for medical devices. The catch? Most TSA agents won't bring it up unless you know to ask. The process is simple, but you have to follow it. First, separate all your medical liquids from your regular toiletries before you get to the checkpoint. Second, as soon as you get to the agent, declare them. Don't wait for them to find them. Just say, "I have some medical liquids I need to declare." Third, be ready to clearly explain what each item is and why you need it. The biggest mistake people make is trying to sneak medical liquids through with their shampoo and toothpaste. This just triggers an intensive bag search and causes unnecessary delays. When agents find undeclared medical items mixed in with everything else, it makes them suspicious. Want to make it even easier? You can request a visual inspection for your medical liquids instead of having them go through the X-ray scanner. TSA is required to accommodate this request, which gives you complete control over how your medications are handled. Your heart is pounding as the TSA agent pulls your insulin syringes out of your bag and holds them up for everyone to see. It feels like every eye in the security line is suddenly staring at you. The irony is just brutal. You're carrying something that looks like a weapon just to stay alive, and now you're worried you might miss your flight because of it. So what's the deal here? Airlines ban sharp objects because they could be used as weapons, but they make an exception for medical necessities. The one key requirement that will save your syringes from being confiscated is this: your needles must always travel with their corresponding medication. A bag full of loose syringes without any insulin bottles is an immediate red flag that will trigger an intensive search. Insulin pumps and continuous glucose monitors add another layer of complexity. These devices can look suspicious on an X-ray screen and often require additional screening. The fix is to be proactive. Before your bag even goes into the scanner, tell the TSA agent what medical devices you have and where they're located in your bag. And if you want some professional help navigating this with complex equipment, check out the TSA Cares program. It's a free service for travelers with medical conditions. If you call them 72 hours before your flight, they'll coordinate with airport security to make your screening process as smooth as possible. It's a fantastic service that most travelers don't even know exists. It all comes down to this: being transparent prevents problems, while being secretive creates them. Your medical devices are just routine when you communicate openly with security agents. Imagine a tourist getting arrested at Tokyo's Narita Airport for carrying Sudafed, the same decongestant you can grab at any gas station in the US without a second thought. Sounds impossible? It happens way more than you'd think, all because travelers assume over-the-counter means universally safe. Here's the dangerous mindset. We know prescription drugs are serious and regulated, so we tend to think over-the-counter medications are harmless by comparison. You'll spend hours researching your blood pressure medication, but never question that innocent-looking cold medicine or sleep aid. And that's the blind spot that gets people into serious legal trouble. The reality check hits hard when you learn the details. Japan completely bans pseudoephedrine, treating Sudafed like a controlled substance. The UAE classifies any medication with codeine as a narcotic, meaning your Tylenol 3 could land you in prison. And several countries restrict diphenhydramine, the active ingredient in Benadryl, as a controlled substance. Why? Because in other countries, these ingredients are seen as precursors for manufacturing illegal drugs. What's considered safe and legal in the United States can be viewed as a potential criminal offense abroad. This means every single medication you pack, no matter how common or harmless it seems, requires you to check the laws of your destination country. Here's your wake-up call. Over-the-counter means absolutely nothing internationally, and pleading ignorance won't protect you from a foreign legal system. You walk confidently through customs in Rome. You've done your homework, your prescription bottles are all in your bag, clearly labeled and organized. The agent examines them, asks a few questions, and then waves you over for additional screening. 20 minutes later, you're still there, trying to explain why you need 3 different medications while other passengers just breeze on by. So what went wrong? Having your meds in their original bottles is your foundation, but it's not the finish line. Think of it as step 1 in a 3-part system that actually works when you're traveling internationally. Smart travelers use what I call the documentation trinity: original containers, copies of your prescriptions, and a formal letter from your doctor. That doctor's letter is the real game changer. It's what separates a prepared traveler from a suspicious one. But not just any letter will do. An effective letter needs to be on your doctor's official letterhead. Give a specific medical reason for each medication, list the exact dosages, and include their complete contact information, including an after-hours number. A generic note from a walk-in clinic just won't cut it. Want to go the extra mile? Get your letter professionally translated if you're going to a non-English speaking country. Medical terms don't translate well on phone apps, and a mistranslation can create even bigger problems. The difference in how you're treated is night and day. With proper documentation, you go from being a suspicious traveler who needs a bunch of questioning to a prepared patient who gets processed respectfully and efficiently. Customs agents can spot legitimate medical travelers who've done their homework from a mile away. You land in Singapore carrying your routine ADHD medication, the same Adderall you've taken for years, without issue. Before you know it, airport security is escorting you to a small, windowless room where officials explain that your medication is completely banned in their country. Your routine prescription has just become a potential drug trafficking charge, carrying serious prison time. This is the nightmare scenario that happens when you don't do your research. Medications that are considered standard treatment in the United States are treated as serious criminal violations in other parts of the world. Your daily routine can literally be used as evidence against you when you cross a border with different pharmaceutical laws. The highest risk categories demand extreme caution. ADHD medications like Adderall and Ritalin are completely banned in Japan, Singapore, and several Middle Eastern countries. Anti-anxiety drugs like Xanax and Ativan often require special permits. Strong painkillers that contain codeine or tramadol will always trigger controlled substance protocols. And even common sleep aids like Ambien fall under narcotic regulations in multiple countries. For some destinations, you need to contact their embassy and apply for permits months before you travel. These permit applications involve submitting medical documentation, getting official approvals, and are subject to strict quantity limits that vary wildly by location. For example, Singapore might allow a 30-day supply with the right permits, while Japan prohibits certain medications entirely, no matter how much documentation you have. Here's the non-negotiable rule. If you take a controlled substance, you must get official approval in advance. Never, ever assume it will be okay. Your medication's legal status at home means absolutely nothing once you're abroad. You're at the security line, fumbling through your carry-on, pulling out medications from 3 different pockets while the TSA agent and everyone behind you waits impatiently. Your heart pills are mixed in with your toiletries, your insulin is buried under a pile of clothes, and you can't find your prescription paperwork anywhere. This chaos immediately signals disorganization to the authorities, and it's a great way to trigger a longer inspection. The fix is simple. Create one dedicated medical kit that signals you are a serious, prepared traveler. Use a clear quart-sized bag just for your medications and medical documents. This visual organization immediately tells security agents that you're prepared, not someone trying to hide suspicious items. Next, use the buffer principle. Always pack more medication than you think you'll need for your trip. Flight delays, cancellations, and unexpected extensions happen all the time. Running out of critical medication in a foreign country is an expensive and stressful emergency. A good rule of thumb is to pack 150% of what you expect to need. Your backup documentation system needs 2 layers. Keep physical copies of everything inside your medical kit, and have digital copies stored in a secure cloud service like Google Drive or Dropbox. Take photos of your prescription labels, your doctor's letter, and any pharmacy receipts. Email these documents to yourself so you can access them from any internet connection in the world. Trust me, there's a psychological advantage here. An organized medical kit gets less scrutiny and is processed faster because it demonstrates preparation, not concealment. You finally land in Tokyo after an 11-hour flight. You're exhausted, and you have no idea when to take your insulin. Back home, you inject at 8 a.m. and 6 p.m. It's now 3 p.m. local time in Tokyo, but your body thinks it's the middle of the night. Do you stick to your home schedule, or do you switch immediately to local time? Here's what makes this so tricky. Time-sensitive medications don't automatically adjust like your phone's clock. Your insulin needs depend on your meal and sleep schedule, not what the clock on the wall says. Blood pressure medications work on a 24-hour cycle that can't be shifted instantly without creating dangerous gaps or overlaps in your dosage. For most medications, a gradual adjustment strategy works best. Try shifting your timing by just 2 or 3 hours each day until you're on the local schedule. Switching immediately might work for some simple medications, but it can cause serious problems for others, especially those with specific timing requirements or withdrawal risks. There are some great smartphone apps like MetaSafe and Pill Reminder that can help you manage complex schedules while you're transitioning. These apps can help you calculate a gradual adjustment and will send you alerts based on your current location. But they are not a replacement for medical advice, especially for critical medications. The most dangerous assumption you can make is that all medications can just be switched over to local time immediately. Anti-seizure drugs, heart medications, and psychiatric prescriptions require very careful timing adjustments to prevent a medical emergency from ruining your trip. Talk to your doctor before you go. You get back to your car after a few hours of sightseeing in the Arizona heat and grab your insulin from the glove box. Then, panic sets in when you realize it might be completely ruined. Insulin can become ineffective and even dangerous when it's exposed to temperatures above 86 degrees Fahrenheit. Your life-saving medication could now actually threaten your health instead of protecting it. Here's the challenge. Refrigerated medications simply can't survive normal travel conditions. Heat destroys insulin's effectiveness, growth hormones break down in warm temperatures, and certain vaccines become totally useless after being exposed to heat. The integrity of your medication depends on keeping it cool through your entire journey. The good news is that TSA approves cooling packs and insulated containers for medical needs. Use gel packs that are specifically designed for medications, not regular ice packs that will melt and create a liquid mess. These medical cooling cases get the same liquid exemption as your other medical supplies, but remember to declare them at the security checkpoint. Planning ahead with your hotel is also critical. Before you even book your room, call the hotel to confirm that you'll have a refrigerator. Ask them what their backup options are if the in-room unit fails. Some hotels even offer medication refrigeration at the front desk for guests who need it. Your backup plan should have multiple layers. Pack extra cooling packs in case of long delays. Research 24-hour pharmacies at your destination that you could use for an emergency replacement. You can also buy temperature monitoring strips that will show you if your medication has been exposed to dangerous heat levels during your travels. Your bag gets snatched from your table at a cafe in Rome, and inside it, all of your medications for a 2-week trip. You're standing on a foreign street at 10 p.m. with nothing but your passport and your phone. Your blood pressure medication is going to run out tomorrow morning, and total panic starts to set in. Here's what most travelers don't realize. A medical situation can escalate incredibly fast when you don't have your medication. Missing even a few doses of heart medication, insulin, or psychiatric drugs can create a life-threatening situation within hours. Your dream vacation has just turned into a medical crisis. Your first call in a situation like this should be to the nearest U.S. embassy or consulate. They maintain 24-hour emergency services and can connect you with English-speaking doctors and medical facilities. The embassy staff will know which local hospitals accept U.S. insurance and which pharmacies can help fill an emergency prescription for an American traveler. This is also where travel insurance with good medical coverage can save you literally thousands of dollars. Standard policies will usually cover the cost of prescription replacements if your medications are stolen or lost. The better policies even include emergency medical evacuation if the local treatment isn't adequate for your condition. Communication barriers make everything 10 times harder when you're sick and stressed. Before you travel, download a good translation app and save a few key medical phrases in the local language. It's also a great idea to have your medical conditions and medication names written down in the local language before an emergency happens. Your comprehensive backup plan, with digital copies of your prescriptions, emergency contact numbers, and insurance policy details all saved in the cloud, is what transforms a potential disaster into a manageable problem. So, here's the reality that catches thousands of travelers completely off guard every year. Getting a green light from the TSA means absolutely nothing once you leave US borders. That easy pass through domestic security creates a dangerous sense of confidence for international destinations that play by a completely different set of rules. The moment you land, your perfectly legal medications can become potential criminal evidence. But proper preparation flips this script entirely. When you research your destination's medication laws, pack your original bottles with a proper doctor's letter, and have a solid backup plan for emergencies, everything changes. You can transform the stress and guesswork of traveling with medication into a confident, repeatable routine. So travel smart. Start researching your specific destination's medication requirements today and build your own medical travel plan for a safe and stress-free trip.